Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there were two boys named Jack and Tim. Jack came from a wealthy family. His house was the biggest on the hill, with fancy cars and a big garden. Tim, on the other hand, lived in a small, cozy house at the edge of town with his mom, who worked hard every day to make sure Tim had all he needed. Jack and Tim met at school. From the first day, they became the best of friends. Jack loved Tim's sense of humor, and Tim admired Jack's kindness. They both had a knack for dreaming big, and every lunch break, they'd sit under the big oak tree, sharing stories of their dreams and adventures. One day, Jack invited Tim to his house for the first time. Tim was a little nervous. He'd never seen such a big place up close before. But as soon as he stepped in, Jack made him feel right at home. They played video games, raced toy cars, and even had a mini feast with Jack's favorite snacks. As they sat in the living room, Tim looked around and asked, "Jack, do you ever wish for anything else? I mean, you have everything." Jack thought for a moment and said, "You know, Tim, stuff is just stuff. Sometimes I wish I had as much fun as you do with your mom at your house. I'd trade all my video games for those cool campfires you have with her." Tim smiled, surprised. "You really mean that?" he asked. Jack nodded. "Yep, you're lucky, Tim. You get to spend so much time with your mom, making memories." A few weeks later, Tim invited Jack over to his place. Tim's mom cooked a warm meal, and after dinner, they went outside and built a small campfire. They roasted marshmallows, laughed, and shared stories under the stars. Jack felt so happy. The fire crackled, and the warmth wrapped around them like a cozy blanket. From then on, the two friends spent time at each other's houses. They discovered that the most valuable thing they had wasn't money or fancy stuff. It was their friendship and the simple moments they shared. Jack learned to appreciate the joy in little things, and Tim realized that true richness wasn't about wealth. It was about the people who cared for you. It was about the people who cared for you. And so, the two boys grew up together, carrying the wisdom they learned from each other. They stayed best friends,